Hey everyone, I'm Case Aiken. Now, I mentioned last time that there are still plenty of Legionnaires who meet the criteria for Superman Analogue, but I'm going to use last week's example of Thunder to pivot to other Girls of Steel, and I might as well start with the OG, Mary Marvel. Mary Marvel is the younger sister of Captain Marvel, Shazam, with the exact same powers, though in some continuities, she drew them from a different sextet of gods, in her case Selene, Hippolyta, Ariadne, Zephyr, Aurora, and Minerva. And I call her the OG because she predates Supergirl by about a decade, and Otto Binder, her creator, also was tasked with creating Supergirl years later when he worked for DC. Classically, while Billy was never adopted and thus forced to live on the streets, Mary was adopted to a suburban family, the Bromfelds, which is why they have different last names. As with Superman versus Captain Marvel, her powers are comparable to Supergirl, assuming both are at their prime. And I've alluded to her being at full power or at her prime a couple of times now, so I might as well mention that back in the 90s, all of the main characters from the power of Shazam shared a common pool of power. So if all three were activated in their powered forms, it would be divided into a weaker version than if only one was marvelous at the time. I don't think this is currently in effect, and it was not in effect in the Golden Age, but since the power of Shazam is a series I hold dearly, I would not feel comfortable without at least alluding to that aspect of it. Anyway, since the original run of the Fawcett comics, Mary has been a mainstay of the Shazam books. As common with female characters, her fashion has molded with the time. For example, I just discovered this version of her dressed as a cowgirl, and I adore it. And when you look at the 70s, she had a lighter weight design with flats. Meanwhile, personally, I'm a big fan of her 90s white outfit. It made her visually distinct from the other Marvels, in a time when it was just the Big Red Cheese and Junior. Or I guess in that era, it was CM3. And then there were the various black costumes when she went bad. But those were not good stories, and I'll leave it at that. Actually, I take that back, I won't. You should check out Linkara's Atop the Fourth Wall series for a long-form breakdown on why the story was bad, specifically talking about Countdown to Final Crisis. Anyway, she's made appearances of late in the New 52 era, and since then in the Rebirth era and beyond. In fact, she's now going to be headlining the latest Shazam book, though nowadays I believe she's being presented as Billy's adopted sister rather than biological sister. Her style has likewise been made to look more mystical in form, though keeping certain design elements. At the moment, although I'm sure that's to change with the upcoming series, Mary doesn't have as many solo adventures under her belt as some of the other Marvels, but she is certainly a powerhouse. She's taken down some of the most powerful characters in the DCU in single combat. And as with most Marvels, she's pretty much unstoppable in her fully powered form. It's only when she reverts to being a human girl that she's vulnerable. And even in her human form, we've seen versions where she's been able to tap into some of the powers of Shazam without fully giving in. At the time, it's no secret that I love all things Shazam. And Mary is a great part of that franchise, and as I noted, she's one of the ranking female heavy hitters in comics. While her brothers and allies sometimes get more spotlight, Mary Marvel is the prototype that all distaff counterparts of these big male flying brick heroes have followed. She's smart, capable, and usually more responsible than her brother. To the readers, she's the big sister we always wanted. Now, next time I'm going to talk about a different Marvel, and that's because I'm bad at algorithms. So as the MCU Miss Marvel series is coming to a close, I should probably talk about the history of the character of Miss Marvel. And since I already talked about Carol Danvers, the original Miss Marvel, I should probably move on to number 2. But until then, stay super, man. Hey, if you're still listening at this point, I just want to thank you for being with us to the end of the episode and just generally being awesome. This channel has grown in such wonderful ways recently, and I just want to thank everyone for being a part of it. I realize that we're still really new into defining the voice and look of this channel, even though we're now really 2-ish years in the process of it all, but I'm so happy to grow and I'm so happy to get feedback from everyone. We've got more stuff in the works, so just thank you so much. In the meantime, do all the YouTube stuff, like and subscribe and all the things, because that helps more people see the videos. And that's cool. I can't get over how many people have seen some of these videos, and it's amazing. But thank you all for all of that, and help it grow. And if you like this and more content that will be coming soon, check out the podcast that goes along with it, Men of Steel. You can find it at certainpov.com. along with a ton of great shows like Another Pass, which we'll be having some content on this YouTube channel soon for that. There are just so many wonderful people I've been producing content with, and I really want to make sure that everyone gets shouted out on this channel. So check all that out. Check out certainpov.com. Check out our Discord server. There's a link down below and on our channel where you can come and interact with us directly and get sneak peeks at future things. But again, thank you so much.